It's a couple little baby wing walls, little 8-foot walls, but it's a good shot to show you a little bit about shear. And I recorded another video earlier. You can kind of see me building it a little bit, kind of body movements and whatnot. And eventually I'll be able to afford a real camera. I'll get better footage. But always gap your sheets, especially, you know, we're from the Pacific Northwest and it can rain any time of the year. And if you don't gap your sheets and it rains and your walls get wet before you can cover them, then these are gonna swell up and then it's gonna cause waves in your wall. The sheets will actually buckle and it creates bumps in between your studs. It'll bump up like that. And then it's really hard to hide at siding. And the other thing is when you're nailing, you want your nails to be flush. So you don't want to under penetrate, you don't want to over penetrate. And again, you know, if you're sinking them too far and it rains, like this one's a little bit too far. This one's flush. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of buried and it's not horrible. Plus I over nail everything, so it's not going to matter in this situation. But you're going for flush is what you're going for. And again, same thing. Your plywood gets wet for whatever reason, it swells up. It's going to swell up over those and they're going to be over penetrated hair anyways. So the ones that are already over penetrated, like they're going to be halfway through your plywood by the time it swells up. So keep that in mind. And I made my life a little bit harder on this one because I didn't mark out my door. So I got a door right here, but it's fine. It's one situation. And I can stand the wall and then I can figure out exactly where it's at and I'll just cut it out later. It's not that big of a deal for me. On big walls like this, if it's windy, absolutely, definitely cut out your openings before you leave for the day. It might save your wall from falling off a foundation. And it has happened to me before. One, I felt like an idiot, even though everybody in the building industry has had something go wrong. At least in that case for us, nobody got hurt. It happened when we weren't there. It happened overnight. We showed up the next day and we had like a 50 or a 60 foot wall that was all the way off the foundation. We had to sit there with sawzalls, pick it apart, put it back together. So before you leave for the day, absolutely secure your walls and cut out any openings that you got in that wall. And that's gonna allow the air to come through a little bit and it's gonna cause less pressure if you're in a high wind area. Just things to look out for. But yeah, gap your sheets. Don't over penetrate your nails, set your flush tip, and nail every single piece of lumber that's in your wall. So every stick, whether it's a sill, a bottom plate, top plate, double top plate, whatever you got in your wall, nail every single stick of lumber. And then again, I said it before, but whatever the plans say for me, if it says 6 and 12, I'll nail it like 5 and 10 or 5 and 8. And what I mean by that is edge nailing. So if it says 6 and 12, on the edges, which is the edge, any edge of a sheet, a window opening, top, bottom of wall, sides, anything that's an edge of a plywood sheet, they want at 6 inches. So I try to nail a little bit closer, right? Like these ones are a little bit closer than 6 inches. So, and then what I mean by in the field is any of these stud lines or partitions that you got to nail, anything like that. And again, see how close together I nailed right here? Some people skimp on nails because it costs them money, because most framers have to pay for their own nails. Me, I don't care about that cost. I'll put massive extra nails in the house. I don't care about that. We're not going to spend time cleaning up a bunch of half-broken racks of nails that are on the ground. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I just want to build and leave. That's it. So I'm not going to worry about the price of nails and all this and that and the other. And I care about these customers, so I'm putting extra. Because again, whatever it says in the plans, that's engineered minimum. And I don't do anything minimum. That's just not how we roll.